All right. When a composer, freelance composer looking for work, emails me, usually I can feel it in their first line. I can feel them gripping the steering wheel real tight. White knuckles.
Hi there, I specialize in creating music for moving media. I would love to work together. I'd love to score something for you. I'm really passionate about music. Can you send me some work?
Now, I want to be sensitive and gentle here, but do you know what I actually feel when I'm reading that? I'm not feeling the music. I'm not feeling the vibe. I'm just feeling that grip, the white knuckles. The please give me the project energy. And I'll be honest with you, that's exactly why I don't reply. And not just me, but all the peers in the business who have the power to commission freelance musicians, because this is what we do. And this one stings a little, okay? The reason your outreach isn't working is probably not even your music. I mean, it could be, but I'm just saying, let's say your music does give goosebumps. What sabotages you is the way you reach out. You're chasing the wrong thing entirely. Now, this is a very important lesson from week 11 inside of our Academy for Remarkable Craftspeople. We call it the Ark. The Ark because you can escape the flood. You get it? All right. And I want to give this to you absolutely free because it took me way too long to learn it myself back when I was trying to break into the business. So I want you to stick around because I'm going to give you the only question that you should ever ask before you hit send on an email to a stranger in our business. And I promise you this will make a dramatic difference in how you see outreach and how outreach works for you. So let me describe the amateur move. And I say amateur with love because I did this too. Like I already said, the amateur grips the steering wheel tight. Every email is basically,
"Hi, this is me. I want the project. Can I score something for you? Can I have an opportunity? Are you hiring? I want to be on your team."
so on and so forth. And look, I get it. You want the work. I want the work. Every freelance musician, every craftsperson wants the work. But I want you to take a deep breath, step back, and allow yourself to feel how short-sighted and ineffective this actually is. You are talking to a human being who, over the next decade, could hand you well over 50 opportunities. Your relationship could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars over the span of the next 10 years. And I'm speaking from personal experience. And you're trying to skip right past the human to get one gig. Right now. It makes no sense when you look at it calmly, but I get it. On the battlefield, when you're actually typing the email, when you're worried about how you're going to put food on the table next month, all you can think about is, I need the project, I need the opportunities. That's the frequency that takes over, and that desperation creeps in, and it creeps into everything that you do. Everything you write, the way you communicate, the way you show up, everyone can smell it. Now here's the part that nobody wants to hear. That producer, that person who could commission you for a project, they don't know you. They don't care who you are. Not yet, at least. Right now, you're non-existent in their life. You're not a priority. They do not think about you at all, okay? So when a total stranger shows up gripping the steering wheel with white knuckles, saying, "Give me a project," what do you think happens? Delete. It is just because you led with the project instead of focusing on the person. So here is the whole shift I want you to remember for the rest of your life. It's only 3 words. It's actually 6. Get the person, not the project. If you get the person, you will get the projects. But if you go for the projects before you go for the person, you will not get the person, and you will not get the projects. It sounds laughably simple. You might be like, wait a minute, people pay you money to mentor them, and this is what they get? Folks, I've been in the business for over 20 years. I've produced over 1,000 campaigns for brands like Nike, Google, Adidas, Canadian Olympic Team, Japanese national football team. Having the hindsight of 20 years behind me and having worked with hundreds, maybe even thousands of musicians, usually when you ask veterans about the keys to the game, they keep it real simple. The amateur keeps it complex. Give me all the hacks, give me all the tools. I want 1,000 tips right now. The veteran looks back at the battlefield and he's like, there's only 3 things that are important. This is one of them. First you get the person, then you get the project. If you go for the project, you don't get the person, and then you don't get the project. But if you go for the person, then you get the project, and then you get many more projects after that, because now you have a person, you have a working relationship, you have the trust, you have the beautiful collaboration, you have the creative inspiration, you have the trust. And all of this compounds over the years, so the projects just land in your inbox without you having to look for them. Does that make sense? Stop asking, will this first email to a stranger get me an opportunity, get me a job? The only question you need to ask yourself is this. Would this person want to hear from me again? That's it. That is the entire test. Let me show you what this looks like. Instead of,
Hi, my name is Billy Jones, and I would love to have opportunities from you.
it's, hi Tommy, this is Bill from Boston. I read that you're into Bresson, the French film director. I love his work too. There's an interesting article about him that not many people know about. Here's a link. And if you ever want to connect for a quick coffee online, I'd love to get to know you because I think our connection would be fruitful. Boom. Now I'm reading this email going, wait a minute, who the hell is this guy? How does he know I'm into Bresson? And if you email me again next month, I'll be like, oh, wait, I forgot to email that guy back. It's the Bresson guy. I should probably answer him. I don't get a lot of emails like this. Do you see what just happened? You didn't ask for a single thing. You just made the person want to hear from you again. And so it might take you a year, it might take you 2 years to get to that person. The amateur gets weak in the knees hearing that. For the pro, this is normal, this is natural. Some of the greatest designers, architects in the world spend years chasing their dream client. You know why? Because when you get your dream client, there's potentially decades of projects ahead for you both. You take time to get the person, and the projects take care of themselves. Okay, so how do you actually do this? I use 3 lenses when I look people up before I message them. The first lens is the personal fact. Not a professional compliment, but a personal fact. Because here's a trap that most amateur musicians walk right into. You email some music production company producer like me, and you say, hey, amazing work on that Nike spot. And in my head, that Nike spot almost gave me a heart attack. It was one of the hardest jobs I ever worked on, and I don't need anybody reminding me about that campaign. I hated that job. Delete. It's got nothing to do with you, everything to do with me. So I don't compliment people on their professional stuff unless I know 100% that they're fully behind it, they love it, and they will probably like to be complimented on it. You just never know. So I go for the personal stuff. With the personal stuff, you can't go wrong. When you find out that I love Bresson, that I've got a Boston Terrier, that I love Gregorian chant, I love Arvo Part, I love Terrence Malick. The second you mention those people, those kind of dogs, those kind of film directors, it makes me light up. Number 2, I want you to bring something to the table. Don't just mirror the people you email back at themselves like an empty shell. I want you to be a curator. If they love Terrence Malick, if they love Bresson, if you know they've got a Boston Terrier, I want you to come in with, hey, have you seen this other director like Bresson? Hey, have you heard that Terrence Malick is working on a new film? Hey, did you know this weird random fact about Boston Terriers? Now, suddenly, you're not just a stranger, but you seem like someone that I'd want to have a conversation with. Because you didn't come in asking for favors, for opportunities for projects. You took time to get to know me, and now you're bringing me something that I actually consider valuable. And number 3, and this is very important, please make the compliment or the thing you're bringing real, authentic, honest, specific. I can smell forced compliments from a mile away. I can smell customized emails that reveal some detail that's supposed to show that you've researched me. I can smell all of that a mile away. But if there's a line somewhere deep within an interview that the person you're emailing did, and it's not easy to find, you had to do a bit of digging, and that line genuinely hit you. Maybe you share the same values, the same philosophy, and you really share them, meaning like you really feel strongly about the same thing that the other person feels strongly about, and you're not just saying it. Let them know about that exact line and that it resonated. It will land because it's true. And then, my brothers and sisters, there is the multiplier, the referral. You see, it's really hard to make connections in our business when it's cold. But if you've just had a great coffee, a great conversation, a great exchange with someone on the inside, I always encourage my students to immediately ask for a referral. Don't wait for the project. Don't wait for a job. Had a great convo, ask for the referral. This is what you say. Hey, we've had a great conversation. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking to find more people like you in this business. People that I'm on the same frequency with. Is there anyone that you could introduce me to? A referral like that will land you 80-90% of the time. And you know why? Because you actually had a good time. The vibes were real. And so why wouldn't I want to introduce you to someone else if I know that you have a great reel, that you actually are someone that's enjoyable to talk to? With pleasure, I will introduce you to my friends in the business. The fact is, reaching out to strangers is a slog. It's an ultra marathon. So wherever possible, you want to look for the warm intro because it's as close to automatic as you will get. So let me leave you with a reframe that changed my entire career. I don't want you to focus on what you can get out of this email. I want you to focus on the person. You focus on the person, and it will eventually lead to the project. You focus on the people, and a career will be the inevitable result. All of it will come. It just comes second, and it comes because you got the person first. And I don't want you to get lost thinking about building your network. Network is an abstract word. It's a spreadsheet. It doesn't mean anything. I just want you to think about turning one stranger into a kindred spirit, one at a time. This is what keeps it real. That's what kept me going for 20 years. And because I was after the person and not the project, that email turned into me having a bottle of wine with the people that I actually love collaborating with, that I have worked on multiple opportunities with over the years. If you want me to show you the whole world where these relationships actually turn into making a living with music, I have a free on-demand workshop for you. It's called The Hidden Path. It was a live training that I gave from a studio that works with some of the biggest brands in the world. And in that workshop, I'm going to walk you through the whole thing. The hidden path that most musicians don't know about, where freelance composers get commissioned for serious money sitting right in their home studio. It's free. You can watch it right now or whenever you want. The link is in the description below. From my heart to yours, I'm giving you a big hug. I'll see you there.